Nigeria World Bank eye capital market for infrastructure funding. AFDB dissatisfied with $210 million Nigeria Agro-Industrial Zones project. National Institute of Credit Administration hails Tinubu's consumer credit scheme. Oil ticks higher as investors weigh new U.S. tariffs, just as Asia-Pacific markets trade mix as tariff worries dent investor sentiment. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar, your guide. Let's bring you up to speed with business development. The Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has issued a crucial notice to business owners, clubs, associations, and non-governmental organizations regarding the powers of its Administrative Proceedings Committee, according to the CAC. The committee provides a structured mechanism for resolving grievances related to registered entities without resorting to prolonged litigation. The APC is responsible for handling disputes, enforcing compliance, and imposing penalties for violations of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. The Commission stressed that the Section 851 of CAMA 2020 empowers the APC to adjudicate non-criminal disputes, impose administrative penalties, suspend or revoke business registrations, and recommend criminal prosecution if necessary. The National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA, has described the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, Credicorp, set up by the federal government in the third quarter of 2024 as a well-intentioned and well-thought-out initiative. A statement by the Institute Registrar, Chief Executive Professor Chris Onalu, said the presidential economic policy statement subsumed in the consumer credit culture is gradually redirecting the country towards the adoption of a credit economy. The federal government has unveiled the renewed Hope Youth Strategic Agenda 2025 to 2027 to its development partners. Alainka Ojo reports that the Youth Development Agenda, expected to unlock Nigerian youth potentials for economic growth, is hinged on three pillars.
Going by available statistics, more than 70% of Nigeria's population fall within the youth age bracket. This productive and vibrant mass presents great opportunities for social economic growth and development in spite of their challenges.
One of the major reasons why a lot of people remain unemployed because they don't have the skill required by the industry.
And this is why this engagement with development partners and donor agencies on how best to address their challenges for a productive future is in place. With focus on governance and system strengthening, human capital development, jobs, skills, and innovation, the goal and outcome, according to the youth minister, is to reduce unemployment rates, ensure an increase in the number of youths with global market demand skills, as well as increase youth participation in social and economic development.
Your partnership is crucial in helping us to close the gap.
For development partners and other key stakeholders, every project that is of benefit to youth will be accorded the necessary support for a brighter future.
We are confident that impactful programs will come up.
The African Development Bank is very much interested in youth development. As a matter of fact, we are actually anchoring some projects currently.
The National Assembly is on all fours with the program and the projects of the ministry.
Key players say Nigeria must start now if it is to achieve the transformative agenda of the present administration of repositioning youths and catalyze them into change agents.
The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has secured a landmark legal victory after the Federal High Court in Lagos reaffirmed its authority to regulate competition and consumer protection across all sectors, including telecommunications. This was disclosed in a statement released by FCCPC's Director of Corporate Affairs, Ondaje Igagu. The ruling delivered by Justice Ogazi on Friday, February 7, 2025, dismissed an attempt to challenge the FCCPC's jurisdiction over the MTN Nigeria, or over MTN Nigeria. The case was filed by Emeka Nubia, shareholder of MTN and legal practitioner, who sought to halt the FCCPC's investigation into the telecommunications giant. Nubia argued that the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, was the sole regulatory body for telecom operators and that the FCCPC's inquiry could breach data protection laws. In its judgment, the court ruled that while Section 90 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 grants the NCC jurisdiction over competition matters in the telecom industry, this must be interpreted alongside Section 104 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018. The court affirmed that the FCCP as a more recent law supersedes any conflicting provisions in the NCA 2003. The ruling establishes that the NCC does not have exclusive jurisdiction over competition regulation in telecommunications. Instead, the FCCPC and NCC share concurrent authority, allowing for a coordinated regulatory approach that prioritizes fair competition and consumer protection. The gold hovers their all-time highs as Trump's tariff threats lift safe haven demand. Let's now take a trip to the commodities market. Now here's a summary of how stocks fared in Nigeria last week, as put together by Olayin Kaojo.
The NGX All Share Index and market capitalization appreciated by 1.38% to close the week at 105,933.03 basis points and 65.592 trillion naira. A total turnover of 6.051 billion shares worth 98.350 billion naira in 72,535 deals were traded by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 2.260 billion shares valued at 52.190 billion naira in 33,724 deals, contributing 74.08% and 53.07% to the total equity turnover in volume and value. The consumer goods industry followed with 141.684 million shares worth 4.018 billion naira in 7,218 deals, while the third place was the industrial goods industry with a turnover of 1.862 million shares worth 3.300 billion naira in 3,995 deals. Trading in the top three equities, namely Access Holdings PLC, FBN Holdings PLC, and Zenith Bank PLC, accounted for 1.176 billion shares worth 38.469 billion naira in 9,506 deals. A total of 53,950 units of exchange-traded products valued at 5.104 million naira were traded in 58 deals. For bond, a total of 37,219 units valued at 28.751 million naira were traded in 42 deals. On summary of price changes, 58 equities appreciated in price during the week, 34 equities depreciated in price, while 58 equities remained unchanged. Olayinka Ujo for Business Express.
Now let's head to global stocks markets. Asia Pacific markets traded mixed Monday, tracking U.S. stocks futures that were lower ahead of key economic data, with escalating trade tensions denting investor sentiments. Well, Bossade Abel Amoso is standing by to bring us up to speed. Bossade,
Thank you very much, Mr. Hello, and welcome to the summary of the global market. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement on blanket 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports on Sunday set the pace on trading on Monday. Stock futures in the U.S. are trading red as investors brace for a data-packed week ahead and eyed news that President Donald Trump may announce a new round of tariff. We see futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average dip 444.23, S&P 500 0.95%, and Nasdaq followed down at 1.36% across 19,523.40. Meanwhile, European stock markets started the week on a positive note, appearing to signal of President Donald Trump's latest tariff announcement. DAX, CAC, and FTSE top at 0.30%, FTSE 0.56%, and CAC 40 of France 0.25%. Asia market traded mostly mixed Monday as escalating trade tensions kept investors on the edge. We see the Nikkei topping 0.4% across 38,801.17, followed by the Shanghai Composite at 0.56% at 3,322.17. The Hang Seng Index followed 1.84% at 21,521.98. Africa stocks traded mixed, with South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 and Ghana's GSE Composite appreciating, while Tunisia and Namibia dipped 0.12% and 0.66%. That's the global market review on the first trading day of the week. I am Bossade Abel Amosu. Back to you, Musa.
Bossade, thank you for that update. Well, this is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTS channel. Business Express returns on Tuesday by 9:30 a.m. I am Musa Abubakar. Enjoy the rest of your day.